Okay, hi everyone, Wendy back again for 25 Days of Manga. We are on day 23. Month is just flying by. I'm going to be over in just a couple days. I will continue my manga talks. It just won't be as frequent, or I'll try to at least until school starts back up. And then I'll do, as many as I can once school starts, because I will have a first time coming back to school after 3 years, and it is going to be, it's going to be something else. It's going to be a hard adjustment to get used to at first, but gonna do it. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk about Dengeki Daisy by Kyosuke Motomi. I think that's how you say it. If any of you know, this even surpasses Ceres for me. And Ceres I have loved since I was 12, 13 years old. Let's say about that. But my god, Dengeki Daisy is just blew my mind. I started the series in high school, and I was having a hard time getting into it. And then what kind of was my push was I used to read a lot of webcomics back in the day on smackjeeves.com. I don't know if any of you ever used it, and if you did, you know what I'm talking about. A very complex site. I used to read webcomics on there. I tried posting some on there. Files and the formatting was so difficult to get hang of. But there was one girl's BL comic I was reading, and she randomly was talking about Dengeki Daisy on there, and I was like, Dengeki Daisy? Like, this Dengeki Daisy? And it turns out it was the one she was talking about. So I later started reading it on my computer. I know I shouldn't have, but I did. And oh my god, I just fell so deep in love, and I couldn't put it, well, theoretically couldn't put it down. I was not reading it in this form, so it was a little different. But my name is not Corey, go away. Love Dengeki Daisy. I love all the characters. Teru is such an amazing female role model. Like, I love her so much. She's lighthearted, but she knows how to stand up for herself, but not to the point where it's just like, oh my god, please just tone it down a couple of notches. We get that you're strong. Like, no, it's very subtle, and she's funny. She is always willing to help out her friends no matter the cost, and when she doesn't like something, she'll let you know, and it kind of puts a rift into certain characters. So the basic premise is we have Teru here, who wait, what was it? Her parents were, oh man, I don't want this to, oh whatever. Parents are dead, so her brother raised her, and he died, and he left her a phone that had a number in it named Daisy. And Daisy was kind of like her text messaging pen pal that she has been talking to for years, since her brother passed away, and he's become very important to her, very special to her. He is always looking out for her, and then she meets this guy, Kurizaki. I love Kurizaki so much. He's like a custodian at her school, but he's actually there to kind of like look out for her and help her out when she goes through stuff, and he's like a mad skilled hacker. Spoiler alert, he's Daisy. I think we all knew that going in the very beginning. Their relationship is so endearing, and the chemistry between these two characters is on fire. Oh my god. And I love this whole, like, he likes her, but he knows that she's still a little too young and that she can't find out that he's Daisy. And, you know, other stuff kind of goes on throughout the series, but that is just such an interesting thing. And what I love about him being named Daisy, which he goes into it in the story, but what I like about this is that he's a hacker, and his name's Daisy, and, you know, it kind of brings me back to 2001 A Space Odyssey with HAL 9000, and when HAL dies at the end of the movie, you know, he brokenly sings, what's this, I forget what the actual name of the song is, but it's Daisy, and I always just found that very interesting. I don't know if that was on purpose, but that was like a cool connection I made, so something that I really liked about Dengeki Daisy. I love seeing how the art progresses in this series. Like, you can already tell, like, the art from here is so much different from volume 11 even. And I wonder if this one has the fun one with. I also love, like, their, like, these little facial expressions they have when they're, like, annoyed or something. It is very, very, very good. I love this series so much, and it goes into really complex characters, a complex story for a shoujo, really. And, can I just say again that Teru and Kurizaki's chemistry is on fire? Oh, I love it. And they kind of have this, such a cool dynamic where they're always constantly helping each other. So he's not always saving her, but she always has to kind of save him. And it's always in really interesting ways. And there's a part in, I honestly don't remember which volume it's in, and it would take way too long to find it. But, Kurizaki is kind of going through something, and, Teru wants to help him, and he won't let her, and he tells her to just, angrily, he tells her to go away. Instead of her kind of crying and running off and be like, what did I do? He yelled at me, but no, like, she walks off, and then she comes back, and she just, like, hugs him and lets him just, like, cry it out. And I thought that was a really cool, interesting part, because it was kind of like, yeah, you could force me away, but I'm not going to let you, and I'm going to be here with you to help you through this. And she does that a few times throughout the series, and I love her for that. I don't want to say too much, because it's just so good, and if you haven't read Dengeki Daisy, totally go for it and read it yourself. It's really, really, oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. The chemistry of these characters, and the character development, and just everything about it is so good. They're very, really respectful to each other too, and there's just so much in this series to like, and it's really funny. It's, oh my god, I can't even begin to explain everything about this series that is so good. But I just look at them. Some of these volumes I need to get new copies of. I'm not gonna put that up right now. They're some of them I got ended up being library copies, and I don't know what's about that. I don't like having library copies of books. All my stuff needs to be in good condition, no stickers on them, anything. I thank my fiance for that. He got me into that mode of displaying and how perfect it should look displaying and everything. So, I'll have to fix that with some of these because I'm like, I hate that this one is like this. That's what sucks is like this is one of my favorite volumes right here too. So bummer to that right there. And then volume 4 is like shorter than the rest of them, and it's another weird library cover to it. Anyway, I'll be on the lookout on recovering those and fixing them. Such a good story, such good characters, fire, chemistry, and I am also reading QQ Sweeper and Queen's Quality by the same author, mangaka. I'll talk about those in another video. I need to catch up first, so I need to catch up on where the story is at before I talk about that. I'm a few volumes behind, I think only like 3, but God, Dengeki Daisy is just so good, and if you haven't read it, check it out. It's totally worth it. In the same video, I wanted to talk about one other series. I was gonna make this a separate video, but I'm gonna talk about something else in the other video. So, I'll talk about in this video. I'm gonna talk about one of the other favorites in my top 5 mangas, because I probably won't get to make a video on Christmas, so I wanted to get this in before Christmas. Only the Flower Knows, which is also Hana no Mizu Shiru. That's the Japanese title. And this is by, Rihito Takari. And let me tell you, this series was a big saving grace for me, along with Candy Color Paradox, but this one even more. This is like my top favorite BL of all time, for different reasons than Hanto Yaju, which we'll get to Hanto Yaju, we'll get into that. Only the Flower Knows, like, look how beautiful these covers are, for one. I love all the detail of the flowers and the color and the shading, and the use of purples is the most common use tint used for shading. Like, you can really tell, like, within his shirt that's like a purple gray in there. And same with this one. Oh, there's so much purple being used for shading in here. And this one has a little bit, but it has more of a green, it has like a purple and green tint to it. This was another one that I read on campus when I was alone. And this one was a good one for helping me through a dark time. I had gone through a breakup, and this guy had like royally messed me up. It was just kind of like I had crappy guy after crappy guy after crappy guy, and I met this guy, and he was like cool and nice for once, and then he just wasn't ready to be in a relationship, and it kind of just like hurt me. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, I finally find someone who's not shit, and wow. And so I had to kind of go through this period, and it was kind of like defining where I am in my sexuality. But I was, I just got really down in this time, and so I found this series, and this was fantastic. I still remember when I went home and I just couldn't stop reading it. And I was supposed to be doing homework. I wouldn't do homework, so I just read this. And shortly after Bobby and I started dating, I wanted to use some of my money to buy some mangas, and I saw this on Amazon, and I was like, oh, I love Only the Flower Knows. I want to have that. I would love to own that. It's German. It's German. It threw me off because the title is in English. But once I was actually looking through here, and I was like, that's not English. And then I showed it to my friend. She's like, oh yes, that's German. That is German. Which is a bummer, but I mean, it's okay. I mean, that's fine. At least I get to own these and I get to look at the pretty artwork inside. And just the production quality of these is great. Absolutely fantastic. This is a love story and college kind of story. It's beautiful, it's serene, it's angsty, it's driven, it's heartfelt. I mean, I love this series so much. And it deserves more love. I don't ever see people talk about it very often, and whenever I do, it's always people who I've either mentioned it to, so they've gotten around to it, or they, read all of Rihito Takari's stuff because they like 10 Count, which 10 Count is good. Don't get me wrong, it is a great series, but this is by far my favorite by her. And it deserves more recognition and love in there. And this is alone like my favorite scene in the manga itself is this scene, and I'm glad they put it on the cover. It's so beautiful, and I love the like the filler flowers there. It's so pretty. And then these do get some color pages inside. And to explain this one, like, I honestly not sure how to go about explaining it. But it's almost about, no, I won't go into that, because I kind of would just like you guys to read this and find out for yourselves, because it's so good, it's so beautiful, it's so serene, and such a strong series. Even though it's only 3 volumes, there is a bonus story that's like a sequel to this, and oh my god, it's so beautiful. I love it. It made me cry. And then it has a prequel that's kind of about the main guy, about his grandfather and their professor at school, and it's like their story. It's heart-wrenching. It is heart-wrenching. You go into it basically knowing what's going to happen, but it's still so sad and rips your heart out. I mean, you could just look at how beautiful these scenes are. And then here's my favorite scene. This is probably my favorite manga scene of all time. Look at that. I love how the grass is drawn in this. Like, it's like detailed, but then like fades out. It's so good. And if you have not read this, please do yourself a favor and go check it out, because it is so good. And I love Arakawa. He's one of my favorite, probably one of my favorite manga characters. I love him. He's such an interesting character. But see how beautiful. God, this cover is just so pretty. I can't Can't get over it, and those white blossoms on there and all the purple being used. You can see it's so good. Yeah, it's not released in America. I think DMP or One Piece Books or something has the first volume digitally, but they didn't get any more. Hopefully someone else will get their hands on it, because I would really like to have this in English, just so I don't have to read it on the computer every time I want to read it, or, you know, read it on my phone, because, ugh. Alright, I'm gonna leave off on there for these talks. Bye guys!